Hey guys, Zero here with another War Game Wednesday, and today we're taking a look at one of the Aeronautica Imperialis expansions. This is the Avenger Strike Fighter Squadron. We're going to take a quick look at this. You get 4 fighters. We've got some cool stuff on there. Let's get it over to the table, pop it open, and see what comes inside. Sit tight. Alright, here we are with the Avenger Strike Fighter from Aeronautica Imperialis. Another one of the cool fighter designs. This is one of the later Forge World fighter designs. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not terrible, because it's got a unique look. But it's something about it. Let's take a look at it and see what the sprues look like. And there's some painting ideas. This is cool. Like, if you get the cards, it'll tell you like the aces from these types of units, so you can see like, what's available. All right, starting off, you get 4 bases, and then you get the flight stems that go with the bases. I think I dropped one, but they give you enough for the 4 fighters that you need. All right, here we have the decal sheet, and it's just like all the other ones, just half black, half white. You've got some striping, some Imperial logos. It's pretty cool. All right, here we have the instruction manual, and just like the other ones, it's just a folded pamphlet. Some pretty detailed instructions. They're not color, though. I'm surprised that none of the instructions for Aeronautica are color. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess they put the resources in something else. All right, here we have the sprues. You actually get 2 of them, which equals 4 fighters. So we'll take a quick look at one of them. See, again, just the detail that's in these kits is just crazy, man. The fuselage, the wings, and the secondary wing part. Engines. The tail wing. This looks like the, yeah, that's where the basing part goes, so it's probably underneath of the fuselage. That's pretty cool. All right, there we go. That is the Avenger Strike Fighters from Aeronautica. Let's get these guys built. Let's get them, see if we can probably get them primed maybe in the next couple of days. But either way, we'll get them built, and I'll show you guys a comparison with some of the other fighters that are in the Imperial fleet and some of the Xenos fighters. All right, guys, sit tight. All right, here they are. These are the Aeronautica Imperialis Avenger Strike Fighters. Like I said, you get 4 bases, you get a bunch of stems. These are literally built identically. Like, I don't have anything different on these, simply because I didn't put any of the wing mounted weapons on yet, because I'm going to go with rule of cool, but at the same time, I want to at least get the cards before I see what's on these guys. You can either put las cannons, double auto cannons, missiles, the hunter killer missiles. So I want to make sure what I put on there before I commit to anything. But you can see the detail is crisp. The line work is good. And there's a lot of little parts, so you have to be careful, and you got to pay attention to the instruction manual when you're building these. Oh. It's very cool. And it's called the Avenger because it has the Avenger Gatling cannon in its nose. I don't know if you can see that. It's basically a big old minigun. And then you've got the extra mounts for weapons there. And you can see I have missiles I can put on there, or rockets. or I can put las cannons or auto cannons. Probably a little bit of both. That's what I'm going to wind up doing. Again, rule of cool. So, all in all, pretty good. Good build. With the exception of nothing bad. Just pay attention. These boosters or engines are 3 parts. You've got the main wing that goes to the fuselage, the smaller wing, and then a small piece underneath, and then this little ski right here. All 3 have to come together, and then this ski has to go into place, or the ski goes into place, then all 3 come together. So just pay attention to the instructions when you're building them. It's a little bit tricky. I'll show you. You see, you put that ski on the small piece, you put that part of the booster on the second part of the booster on the upper main wing, and then you squeeze those guys together, and there you go. It doesn't look very difficult, but it's a little bit fiddly. Nothing bad though. You should be able to get it. But pretty cool build. Pretty cool airplanes. I wish I could use them. I can't use them. It's kind of thing that sucks. Like, I don't understand why they don't do this, and they did this in the first one too, with the first release. They didn't give you, like in the expansions, they didn't give you any of the cards to use these fighters, right? Like, so, and it really didn't matter because like the original one, the expansions were pretty much the same thing that were in most of the kits, with the exception of the bombers, the big bombers, right? Like, they didn't give you stats for some of them, and the orc bombers too. You didn't get stats for those guys either. So you had to buy the card pack to actually get the stat cards for those vehicles. Same thing goes with these guys. Like, I gotta buy the card pack to get stats for these guys. You better use them in the game, which kind of sucks because I mean, in all technicality, the game box itself is a standalone game. I don't need anything for it. Everything's in there that I need. Rules, stats, everything. These guys being an expansion, it sucks. I gotta go buy. So to buy these guys, I have to buy those cards if I want to use them. So that's another $30, almost $30 purchase. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks. Let me show you guys what this guy looks like next to some of his homies. Here is the lightning strike fighter. You see they got that forward wing thing going on. Almost like a P-4 Corsair, the old World War II planes that were on the aircraft carriers and the wings that would fold up. That's what that looks like a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong though. Let me know. Then we've got the Vulture, or the Valkyrie, sorry. I don't know why I keep saying that. We got the Valkyrie, which is a lot bigger, but it's not really like, in my opinion, this is not in the same class as these guys. I use a flyer in 40K and they treat it as such, you know, as far as stats and rules go. But this is actually like a gunship, like a Apache or Cobra. And these are like jet fighters. You know what I'm saying? But in the world of 40K, they're all fighters, right? And here we have the Tau Tiger Shark and the Tau Barracuda. You can see the size difference here. The Barracuda is tiny little fighter. Little tiny flat pancake fighter. And this guy's flat too. The Tiger Shark's really flat. But it's big. It's like wide, you know. So there you go, man. Not a bad little kit. I wish they would give you at least the basic stat cards for these guys. Maybe not the aces, you know, because that's I understand that, right? Like, that's a specialty thing if you wanted to use aces, but at least 1 or 2 basic stat cards for these guys so that I could use them in the game like right away as soon as I build them. You know, but they are probably assuming that I went out and bought the cards like right away. So there you go. All right, let's get over to the share so I can give you guys my final thoughts. Sit tight. All right, so there you go, man. The Aeronautica Imperialis Avenger Strike Fighter Squadron. I mean, price-wise, they're all the same. Like, whenever you buy a Squadron box, they're literally all the same. So it's not like, I mean, maybe one set will be like a couple bucks less or a couple bucks more, depending on the size of the fighters inside, but they're pretty much around the same price, which is kind of nice. So price value, I mean, it's there. Big con for this is that while they're cool looking fighters, because they weren't included in the original starter game. There's no stats in that booklet for these fighters, so you're gonna have to buy the Imperial Astra Militarum cards for using these fighters to get the stats for these fighters and stuff like that, which you probably should get it anyway, because it's probably easier when you're playing the game. It's easier to have each player have a card for each fighter that they're using, just so that you can keep better track of your stats and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's a really cool looking fighter. They went together pretty easy. There's a lot of little fiddly bits, especially with the landing gear, and you guys saw that in the video, but nonetheless, they're cool looking, and I definitely think I can't wait to get to the rest of them. I got some tile ships to get still, and I'm gonna start sourcing out the Space Marines and Eldar stuff. All right, guys. As always, like, subscribe, share, and thank you for watching.